EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. I'm your host, Larry Ridley, and this is Madden Ultimate Team. Coming up, we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings come into this one knowing they're going to need to put forth an inspired effort right from the start because if they...
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Three down.
Here's the first carry now for Frank Gore. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So on 4th down, the Colts will turn it over to Pat McAfee to punt this one away.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10.
Watch right, watch right, watch right. Hey. Move 20.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Hey, man.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there from 17 yards out. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter.
20.
Brady will look to throw for it. And that is going to be caught. And it moves the lead to 8-0. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped it.
Double tight, double tight.
Shift together here from the D-line. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Odd, odd, odd. Three down. Odd, odd.
Now on second down, this is Gore. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Anything moves, we hit it. Anything moves, we hit it.
That's it for the first half. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. To return, this now Jacoby Jones. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver, 96 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing is locked. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. So 3rd and 20, defense in the nickel.
Surprised they didn't go with 6 DBs, the dime look.
3rd and long, it's locked. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's the way to hit.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Hey, check.
Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now it's 1st and goal. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Well, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Barr in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. To throw on 2nd down is Luck. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?